sort of anti-malware running in the moment.
I can gain.
Hmm?
I gain it's probably your computer.
Hmm?
Yeah, I can get into the company, so the server should be okay.
Yeah. No, it's just my machine. No, it's sorting itself out finally. So yeah, if you click in here, you can change the wording of the company, but we'll go through companies in a little while. Okay, so we need some users, and in order to have users, we have to have some groups and some access to different parts of the system. If you go into the groups, which is up here, we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups that come with the product. Don't change anything in any of these groups. If you want, you make your own. But if you upset this, particularly if you upset the administrators one, then you start losing access to bits and pieces when you log in. You don't do anything with Rogo, you don't do anything with third-party vendors, that's for support purposes. Most users will be set against registered users or a group similar to registered users. You also don't need to worry about punch-out users. That's for third-party products coming straight into DSF. So the only ones you really have to worry about is administrators, CSR if you're going to use any. An explanation of the Everyone group. Every time you make a user, you automatically get stuck in the Everyone group. You can't delete it, you can't change it, but you don't give everyone any access of any sort. And we'll show access in a minute. But the Everyone group is there to make things quick and simple to have products and categories show on a website if you've got products and categories that need to be shown to anybody that comes to the website. If we go into the administrators group, you'll see on the left-hand side will be the people that are in the administrators group, down this side. The right-hand side will show all of the users that are in the system currently. If you want to make somebody an administrator, you click on the one that you want to move, and you click the arrowhead, and immediately they're now part of the administrator group. There is no save required when you're doing that part. Put that back at me. Okay. This is where some of the complications come in. There's a page here that says Manage Page Access. This is basically all the different parts of DSF, and an administrator normally gets access to almost all of them. There are some that are turned off. The ones that are turned off can be accessed if you log in as administrator, then you get access to everything. Anything with a tick mark means that you've got access to that window. And if you want to know what the window is, you can actually click on the links. And it'll open the window concerned. So there's the address book. As I say, don't change the administrator one. Here you can see there's things like hours of operation, license. So they're mostly menu items. Right at the very bottom is one called storefronts. So there's the storefront. So that means that you've got access to the storefront website. and we'll go through storefront customization in a little while. The difference between the administrators group, which has access to almost everything, if we go back to the groups and we look at the everyone group, you'll see everybody's in there, and they always are, but when you see manage page access, you'll see that nothing's ticked until you get to the bottom. Everyone group only ever gets access to the front web page. Alright. So you could consider everyone being the anonymous user, I guess. When you're going to make a group for a particular customer, you can name it something. You might call it by the company name. You click Save as New Group. Come up with a message. And then we have the most important area is the Manage Group Company and Print Shop Access. You are in here, you are giving this group access to different parts of DSF. You are giving them access to a print shop, which they have to have, otherwise they can't place an order. So if you've only got one print shop, this comes in automatically. If you want to allow them access to anything that the None company will have access to, so if we have a category called stationery, and you stick the company against that category, then if this group has access to that company, they will also have access to that category or those products. This will be more transparent when we actually start working on categories and products. But you need access to one company usually, and it would be the company that you're doing the group for. And then you have to look at if the administrators have access to something, do you want this group to have access to it? And that would normally be no. Normally you would turn these off and they would only have access to the group None, which doesn't appear in here. I thought I saved it. Take that. I don't think it's saving. What am I using? No, I'm using Firefox this time, and it's not actually creating a new, add new group. None. Save as new group. Oh, save that time. That's better. Alright. Put somebody in the group. And then we go to the Manage Group Company. We have to be part of the print shop. We want to be part of the company. We don't, and we only ever want to be part of the None group. You don't want them to be part of the other groups unless you want to give them more access to products and categories. This would be a typical setup for a new group for a particular customer or company. Once we have a group available, we do need to manage the page access, but if you try to do it from here, you've got no idea what bits you want to be turned on, unless you actually know the system inside out and backwards. Even I don't know which one of these to turn on. So there's another way of doing it. It's made life a bit easier. If you go into page access from the administration group, If you know that you're making one that's the same as the registered users, because registered users are the normal people that'll use DSF website, you can just tick all the boxes beside the none group that are the same as the registered users. So you know you need, you know you need that one, you know you need that one. So I'm just copying whatever's here, I'm doing here. Must have got lost in the columns. This one, registered users is the third one in, and none is that. Unfortunately, we don't have a copy system at the moment, which would be really nice. When you've got all the ticks the same as registered users, you can click update. And now your group that you've just created has the correct access that you need in order to be able to place orders and see products and categories and stuff like that. Once you've got your groups and your page access sorted out, you can create a user. So a user is a person who's going to place orders in the system. You could consider them to be people who log in. You can consider them to be buyers. So in here, you can manually add a user. So you click add user, you put in a name, put in a password that you want to use. And then select the company that they have to belong to. We've only got one at the moment, so that's fine. You've only got one print shop, so that's okay. When it comes to creating the group they belong to, if they're just a buyer and they're not an internal person who's working with DSF or with the printing company, you want to make sure you don't leave it on administrators. You put it on the new group that I created, none. You click next, and then of course you've got the secret question button. And then we get into those profile fields that we talked about yesterday. Anything with an asterisk has to be put in. Change your country. Put in your unit system and put in what language you want to use. And put in an email address. I'm sure I'm going to get an error on this one. Oops, getting an error so I didn't fill in one field. There you go. This is what I wanted to show you from yesterday, where if there's a duplicate email address, you're not going to be able to do it twice. So you have to make sure that it's a different one. And there you go. If it saves correctly, it's gonna say user saved successfully, would you like to add another user? Alright? So what I need you guys to do is to create yourselves as a user in the system, because I'm gonna get you to make companies and things like that, so I need you to be able to log in as yourselves. Leave yourself in the group of administrators. So if you just go to the users and click add user, put in your username and password that you want to use, and just follow the instructions through. But leave yourself in the administrators group, because you need to be able to get to all the administration. You can choose your own language once you're in there as well. You understand what I am?
We use a lot. Chủ á cô cho anh chị anh chị chủ.
You can log, sorry, you can log in as administrator first in order to be able to do it.
So we're still using that non-company?
Yeah, we've only got one company. Yeah. So yeah, if you log in as administrator with password administrator and go to users and create your own user. I should have mentioned that at the beginning.
收費可以，你可以俾阿媽俾佢可以試下做。唔係我覺得疏忽同公司嘅關係一間公司只可以有呢個疏忽。
即係佢可以揀咗之後到時咧，
疏忽嘅係公司上有啲事，疏忽就係買可能買但係你而家你俾咗一個數字一個月所以你就疏忽得錯。即係每多個咧，你就會重複。你睇下等佢咯。
Once you created your username, log out of administrator and log in as your new user. Make sure it's all working.
你收煙係嘛？唔使。佢啲有陣時有啲嘢要 send 俾你㗎，send 俾你嗰嘢有個 link 㗎，可以。呢啲自助啦。
So we got as many users as we're gonna get.
Mm-hmm. 你
everybody's able to log in.
Yeah. 有冇乜嘢我未攞？
Because I'm gonna change the administrator password again. Okay.
坐喺度做開啫嘛，放出街得啦。
We'll carry on and wait for the others to come back. Okay. Okay, so you now have a number of users in this users window. If you want to change the company they belong to, all you have to do is click the edit beside the one you want to change. After clicking edit, you'll see that the print shop and the company gets a drop box in it. Now currently we don't have any other customers, so we can't change who we belong to. But as soon as I get you guys to make some companies, then you'll be able to put yourselves in your own companies. Alright, so now that we've got some users, we can now talk about companies. So, as I was saying before, a company is the customer that the buyer is going to log in through. And a company means that they get their own URL to a website or a storefront. Alright? To add a new company, you click Add New Company. You put in a company name. You can also put in a slightly shorter name for what the URL is going to be. And you then decide what different payment methods this particular company is willing to pay by, or what you want them to pay by. So just because the print shop is able to do all of these doesn't mean that you're going to say that this particular company is going to use them all. They might just do credit card and purchase order number. Or they might do a cost center and a PO number. Might just be a PO number. Then set the default payment method. On a company by company basis, you can decide whether somebody can cancel an order after they've placed it. Tick this box, and this particular company, you can't cancel the orders once they've come in. Means that they would have, if they wanted to cancel the order, they would have to ring up you as the owner of the print shop and say, hey, I need this canceled, and then there may be a debate on what the costs were. Okay, this box here only appears once as you do when you add the company. And it's there to make sure that once this company's created, somebody can see it. So it says this group will get manage access to the new company being created. All right. what used to happen, this didn't used to be here in a previous version. What used to happen is if you were logged in as yourself and you created a company, that company would disappear when you went to try and find it the next time because it wasn't attached to any particular group, so you couldn't find it. So leaving it as administrators is fine. We'll talk about password policies later, but at the moment we'll say no password policy. This is the one where we talk about the left-hand side of most of the storefronts show whether and what the print shop's all about and what hours they work, etc. If you tick the box, then you're not showing the print shop to the buyer. It's up to you. When it comes to doing a checkout from the cart, there are 3 different ways that you can check out. The standard checkout means it goes through certain particular pages. It goes through the when do you require it, where do you want it sent to, how do you want it sent, how are you going to pay for it, and place the order. With rapid checkout, it combines the delivery address and when you want it into a single pop-up window, so it speeds it up a little bit. And very rapid checkout is only usable as long as you're going to keep delivering to the address that's against your profile, because you lose the ability to say where you want to send this package with very rapid checkout. It automatically goes to you. I'm going to leave it standard so that you can see how it normally works. Handling charges. Are you going to charge handling for this particular company? If you use print shop setting, then it'll go back and see what your print shop set to. Or you can say, for this one, I'm going to charge $25. Same deal with whether you show handling charges separately. You can use the print shop setting, or you can say what you want to do yourself. Display the handling charges, display the turnaround time or not, how you want to show the calendar for selection of the date required. Okay. Along similar lines as I was talking yesterday about the static products, and if you change the file when you reorder, do you want to use the new file or the old file? We also have a situation where we're going to be doing ticket templates later, but a ticket template's like the workflow through your print shop. And if you modify the ticket template later on, when you do a reorder, do you want to use the new ticket template or do you want to use the previous ticket template? Most people you want to use the latest ticket template for the reorder. If you're going to give people a discount using promo codes, if you tick this box, then the field will always show in that payment window. But if your promo code only works for a week or 2 or a month, then there's no point in having that promo code showing all the time. It can just show during that period that the promo code is turned on for. It's one of those things where you might have a promo code that's going to work on a permanent basis, so you might as well have the promo code there all the time. Really depends. A lot of my customers don't use the promo code.
Reference?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a newbie. I'm going to have to look that one up myself. Enable reference code at storefront. That's just come in at 9.6. So new they didn't put it into the. They didn't even put it into the help yet. I'll have to find out what that is for you. might see something like that. You don't have to worry about the estimating pricing policy unless you're going to be working with an MIS system. Contact information. You need to put some sort of information about your company. Okay, moving down the line. Contact info. Okay, so when if you're going to allow people to register from this storefront, for this company, what group do you want them to be in when they register? If you create your own group for this company, then you can pick the group out of here. Otherwise, just keep registered users because that's set perfectly for being able to find most things. Again, what preference you have for the unit system. And we don't worry about print messenger right now. When you've done that company, you click save. And you can see I've now got a Presco company. If you guys would like to try and make your own company, just so that you know how it all works, then we'll go to the users and we'll show you how to change the company. So log in as yourself that you made the login for and create your own company.
So normally for their own company should have a specific group.
Yeah, it's easier to do it that way.
Yeah.
Once you've created the company, go and create a group for that company.
Yeah.
Yeah, and base it on what the registered users group is. So we'll do that as soon as they've made some company. It just makes it a lot easier when you want to make all the security for categories and products.
佢會幫標榜一樣 display 出嚟，可能冇人
唔係真嘅，我真嘅。
咁啊，
有人啊嘛，或者你去
如果賴我嘅公司，
有 DNS 俾佢哋做，佢落 DNS 喎，真，因為而家呢種係西。 Ờ, 西。 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 Ờ, 仲有一個問題啊，有問題就係、如果我係一個即係我行個 web server，我要將啲人帶過去，咁我冇理由帶去你公司㗎嘛。因為我呢個咧，我公司嘅 web server 買嘢咧就係呢個名啦。咁但係呢個名咧就見到你個咁你咪可能冇啦。咁所以一定係嗰條名咧就係直接去翻個公司。冇理由即係佢話俾你知有收視係應該係我覺得係一般客都應該認識，但係有啲咧認識下。啲先我去睇會唔會講啊？我好似唔係嘅，我叫你實際啲。咁但係你要問佢係乜嘢？唔係你可以搞，你即係睇你所選嘅。係要做俾人
即係嗰個其實因為嗰個客即係佢係 ABC 咁，係 customer 佢想 host，
佢想佢哋 host，
佢一定會 host，或者佢想自己 host，
佢自己 host 佢有需要。
即係假設佢有需要，即係假設
假設上翻佢要加到啲名啊嘛，
係啊
而家你會有錢落嚟，即係啲我前面叫做乜話，即係
自己 desk 你自己講得私分過嚟，即係
但係你都要做，你都要做咗咩佢啊嘛，如果你做到嘛，
其實我哋我哋啲係假設個客自己 host 嘅嘢啦，出上嚟。
係
咁例如 ABC 咁，佢個版面就即係好有近係 ABC 啦。
係
我行嗰啲客咧，就即係三即係我第一下將佢嘅 ABC 啦，就係攞翻先
我
講咗
覺得
啦。
一個影響，
如果搞嘢咧就變咗 host 嗰間公司，佢會專門幫我啲衫啊，
你想有呢個方面，當時我哋冇見到嘅，
係
記得過啊，你想我哋做咗咩咧？你就點樣搞？
但其實佢即係 true 啲嘢都係真係
係。即係呢個好全嘅，你叫個名，咁係你就做到個信號。先我啲問題佢睇下會唔會講Yeah, we just talk about the URL.
Yep,
Yeah, because
this one.
yeah, for each company, yeah, so you can see the URL.
Mm.
Yeah, so you need to access the DNS.
No. Without having the DNS set up and the multiple URLs,
Yeah.
this gets ugly, but that's the way it works. This becomes a URL with all of this plus a bit in here for that.
Yeah, yeah. So you can see the multiple.
It's like that. Yeah, it's got DSF companies, EPSD, local storefront.aspx. That would be the URL currently to get to that company site.
If I want to use specific company form,
Then you have to have some stuff set up separately. You have to have a DNS server somewhere else. And this all has to be set up. And therefore a domain, and then you can pick the company and it'll put company dot whatever the domain is. But this isn't this is something separate from DSF.
So we'll talk about that.
There's not much I can say about it. I don't understand it.
Okay. So that's why
I don't understand DNS servers.
the company that you are well means if you set it up properly,
Yeah.
so we just change the URL and then we'll add to that DNS.
Yeah, once you turn this on, then the company changes. The company URL changes in here so that it ends up, you put in whatever word and then you pick the domain out of the Dropbox.
Yeah, just like my print desktop.
Yeah, exactly like my print desktop. But yeah, the part I can't explain is how the DNS server works.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But I am going to talk about the short URLs.
To contact the IT to access the DNS.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of documentation in here about how it works.
But if not, then we can make use of one website server. I mean, one domain name, and then use the different username, user log in, and access the user is belongs to them. I mean, the name.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you get to our website, once you log in, it logs into whatever company that you belong to under the storefront.
Yeah, so
The problem comes down to if you have a site set up for like Nike and you want people to go straight to that, then you need that URL to go straight to that company.
or give that URL to that
Yeah, well, that's it.
that
Yeah.
page.
Yeah. So you basically have to give them, if you don't have the DNS set up, then you
So that means I don't need you to go to the company.
so you have to give them. So you end up giving them.
You need to set your own words.
You need to have.
You need to set something inside.
There's nothing to set. Like it's literally going to be whatever you put in here, plus all this other
Use
stuff.
only the internal one.
Yeah. So your URL, like it worked for the other one, I don't know why it's not working for mine. That one there, you went to open a new tab. So now it's not doing that. It should say companies in here. Usually you can go copy and paste. That is, forget about that bit.
Okay.
That is the URL that you need. And if they've got obviously if they've got a domain that they're going to log in from outside, then it'll be that. But that is the URL you give to your customer so that they go straight to the right storefront. It's not pretty, which is why they made that multiple URLs.
Yeah, it's better. Sometimes if the customer only have a web server, they just need the name. So just keep that.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, you can take that and on the internet you can get a, what do they call it, you can buy it's basically you buy the name and this will do it'll take that and turn it into what it needs to be so that it's like having a DNS server working. A redirect. You can buy, if you can log onto a system, onto a service and pay for it, and this, whatever this is, can be redirected into something. A short URL. I've been told about that one, I've never done it.
Okay.
Sometimes I want to have a break.
Mà break 緊啦咩？都自動 break。
Right.
Yeah, yeah, still break. 使唔使stop啊？